Hi, I'm Lawson. My content's on YouTube, Medium.com, Substack, and I also have podcasts on Apple Podcasts and Substack. I was kind of struggling for what to write to make a video about this evening, and when all else fails, I go back on memories, talk about things in my past. My mom was the daughter of a Southern Baptist minister. He was also a plumber. He was a Southern Baptist minister as well. So we had a very There was no alcohol in the house. There was no beer, nothing ever, not even on special occasions, because it was a sin. And my mom was quite obsessive about it, something I never figured out. And I found out later in life that it's because my dad liked to drink when he was young, and it caused a problem. But anyway, my dad's in the Air Force, and all my middle school years and most of my high school years were in Japan. Now, in Japan, if you're a gaijin, a foreigner, um, you don't have to worry about getting carded. You can be underage and just walk off base and get anything you want. Plus, they got vending machines on the streets where you can get beer. In fact, as I recall, you can get bottles of whiskey out of the vending machines as well. And from what I understand, the vending machines now are upgraded, and I would love to go back to Japan. But anyway, there's this alcoholic beverage called absinthe. Absinthe, really strong licorice, and it kind of burns as it goes down. And I don't. I, there was rumors that at the time you can actually get it was banned in the States. It was banned most everywhere for a long time because people drink this stuff and die. And because they don't drink it right. And so I did some research a few years ago and found out that you can get it in the States now, but it's a they removed some of the more toxic ingredients and lowered the alcohol content a hair, I think. So you can actually order it and get it delivered to your house, in the States. But at the time, it was banned. But anyway, for some reason, I went to a high school dance alone. Well, I know why I went to the high school dance. I went to high school dance to look for trouble, to get in trouble. And I did. And some guys I knew from the smoking area got a hold of me, saw me there because they were there looking for trouble as well, and wanted to know if I wanted to get hammered. I said, of course. So they wanted me to pitch in some money. I pitched in a couple of bucks, and then we all went. Because for some reason, I don't know why they did this, but if you could buy a ticket, you could get a ticket to get into get into the dance, and I don't remember if they put a stamp on your hand or they gave you a wristband. I think they just put a stamp on your hand, so you can go in and out. I don't, what were they expecting? But anyway, so I pitched in the money, and after a while, they said, "Come on, Austin, let's go." And we're all standing around in a circle. And the guy that went off base to get the absinthe pulls out the bottle. And they're all taking, and they pass the bottle around, and they're all taking little bitty little bitty nips. And then they hand the bottle to me. And me, being the idiot that I am, tasted good at burn. Really strong licorice taste. You know, and I come down, and everybody's like this. Jesus Christ, Lawson, you know what you just did? You effed up. You messed up really bad. And, they were just really amazed and dumbfounded that I did something that stupid. So I shrug it off and tell everybody they're full of it. And I go back into the gym and I climb up to the top of the bleachers, top bleacher, find a place to sit. And I lean my head back, listening to the bad 70s disco music. And what they call music is not music, it's garbage. But anyway. And then all of a sudden, after a few minutes, the lights start crawling across the wall and crawling on, across the ceiling. And the light fixtures start crawling on the walls. And I start seeing double. And I don't remember anything after that until I don't know, sometime later. I think it was several hours later. I was locked in this room. Coach had locked me in this room in the hallway, the gym, with big glass windows, and everybody that I was drinking with were outside looking at me, wondering if I was going to be all right or wondering if I was going to be a snitch or whatever. Couldn't even hardly talk. And and so I sat there, the rest of the night, locked in that room. And then after the dance was over, they let me out. And I guess they let me out. I got home. Don't know how. But and then I was sick the rest of the weekend, as you can imagine. Parents never, if they knew, they never let on. But that was the first time I ever was drunk, and it should have been the last, But I don't have any sense. So if you ever get a chance to drink absinthe, be very careful. Because what you're supposed to do is mix, get a sugar cube, put it in a little spoon, then pour some ice water over it, and let it drizzle into the glass of absinthe. Then you're supposed to stir all that around. You're supposed to dilute it or do something. The ice, you're not supposed to just drink it neat straight from the bottle and guzzle it like that. That's a good way to mix it. And I've heard actually people have actually gotten really sick and died from doing stuff like that. And because the stuff is strong. I have never drank anything that strong in my life. So anyway, if you're drinking at all, use some common sense and be careful with absinthe. Lee, I'm going to try to work on a newsletter to go out tomorrow. I haven't even worked on one yet. So subscribe to my newsletter. Check out my podcast on my YouTube channel. And I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.